Hey, Shalom. All praise unto Yahweh Shemi outside. Double honors to the apostle GMS. Honor to you brothers that be pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, this is going to be somewhat of a reminder. I won't say an update because, hey man, you should be already on point with this thing. So you should be watching the markets and so on and so forth. And you should be, you should be knowing what's going on out there, man. Alright. And you got these devils, man, these proud devils and all of that, man, and they're gonna be destroyed, all right. And hey, look, we got the curses upon us, but the scriptures talks about how we've become a derision unto them. Now, if you go to the scriptures in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, we go to 28th chapter and the 54th verse, I believe. Okay, you're gonna find out something about them curses, all right, as pertaining to the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, all right. So it's DU. Not Jew. Okay, this is the 54th verse and says, 54. Do you want to be 54? It'll be a little bit lower than that, I think. We find the exact quotations, man. All right, because here it is. You got the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans playing out the curses of the Yahweh Shemi Shai. All right, as bestowed upon them, man. And here it is, you got Esau putting all kind of extra hell upon them, man. But see, that's why the Most High said he's gonna give unto them double. All right, okay, he's gonna give unto them double. So I suppose I could read from the 58th verse, and it says, "If thou will not observe to do all the laws that are written in the book." Okay, so hey, man, you gotta keep the laws, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. Okay, that's a given. All right, and part of the laws, statutes, commandments is to observe and fear the name of Yahweh Shemi Shai, man. You got cats out there that seem to think counterwise. Doth not the scripture say, "Hallowed be thy name"? Okay, hallowed be, hallowed rather more. Okay, be thy name. That's an instruction, man. Okay, that's an instruction right there, man. To keep the Most High's name holy, man. Okay, and after this manner shall thou pray, right? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That's an instruction. And the scripture talks about how Yahweh Shemi Shai comes in the volume of the book, man. Okay, let's check out this word, hallowed be thy name. Okay, all right, so hallowed, okay, agazo, okay, Strong's G, agazo, all right. So the geezer's gonna say it. So let's hear it.
Strong's G37, hagiadzo.
Or hagiazo, okay.
Hagiadzo.
To render or acknowledge. All right, and that's what you got Deacon Asaph talking about. You ain't supposed to be going into them words, because guess what, man? You get into them words, man. Hey, the truth is ever so irrefutable. Okay, I believe that's the correct term to put in that statement. So it says to render or acknowledge. All right, so we gotta know the name of the Most High. See, in so doing, you're basically saying you're in the prophets of the Lord, man. All right, or to be venerable or hollow, okay, as in to separate from profane things and to dedicate to the Most High, man. Okay, so it ain't no name you can take in emptiness, and the word to take in vanity literally means to take in emptiness. That's why you got ain't out there talking about the name of the Lord. Ain't nothing, man. You're nothing to worry about. So let's go back onto these scriptures, man. All right, it says, and that will make the, not to lose, not to sidetrack too much. It says, and the Lord will make the plagues will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuous and sore sickness, and of long continuous. So that's what's up on us within Babylon. Now, really, the point. I suppose that's that's within the point. I don't have to really get into it too deep. And it says also every sickness and plague that is not written in the book. So your Esau basically looking down upon us because of these plagues, and you can read the rest of the plagues. The points made as pertaining to the curses. All right, you can read the rest for yourself. But here it is. You got Esau, okay, basically joining over our being brought down, man. Okay, he's joining over that. But the Most High he said this, man. The scripture says this is concerning Esau. This is the book of Job, the 20th chapter, and the third verse, and it says that the triumphing of the wicked is short. So when we're reading about this in the book of Job, okay, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna go straight to the point. Okay. I'm gonna go straight to the point, which is, bear with me. Uh, bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'll find the point. Let's find it. Derision. There we go. Ah, of course, it's at the top. Asshole. This is the book of Job, the 30th chapter on the first verse, and it says, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision." Okay, and I believe when you get into this word younger, man, okay, this alludes to the fact that they're less than us. We find, because I forget the exact breakdown of the word and all of that, and how, when the elders went into it, broke it down, but pretty much it alludes to the fact that they're lesser than us, man. And now they got us in derision. Why? Because we got all of them curses. See, Job was the perfect example because he had all of them curses beset upon him. All right, but he also was perfect in the sense that he was perfect. He had no blemish as far as iniquity, man. Now here it is. We got blemish as far as iniquity is concerned, because the scripture says our righteousness is as filthy rags. You really ain't on no level to be talking about, death before dishonor, all of that madness. You really ain't on no level to be doing that. Okay, scripture says our righteousness is as filthy rags, and when these guys, they should be spending more time studying the scriptures, because if they was, they'll go to the book of Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, and you find out the Most High ain't gonna increase us for any of our righteousness' sake. In fact, He's gonna do it for His own name's sake, which we have profaned amongst the heathen. Okay, so when he eventually gets into the kingdom, whether he dies and he gets born as a newborn baby and all of his flunkies and followers, man, okay, when that eventually happens, all right, they're gonna have that shame upon them, and guess what, man, that's gonna be done because of what? Because they have profaned the name of the Lord amidst wherever they went, but really because the Most High did it for His own holy name's sake, which He has bestowed upon us, man. Okay. All right, so it says, "Whose fathers I have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock." So the point is made there. Okay, so them that are younger than I have us in derision. And guess what? What the scripture says, it also says, "Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, the joy of the hypocrite is for a moment, is short, and the joy, furthermore, the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of a hypocrite, but for a moment, man, because they're triumphing over us because they've taken us down. Okay, we got all of them curses upon us, man. They're walking proud as hell. All right, but this is what's really happening out here, man. The Most High is making your path straight. The scripture say, when He's about to fill His belly, then shall He be put into difficulties. Now, really, we know all of this is orchestrated, but now they're starting to find out that it's not really orchestrated. See, they might want it, this economic collapse to happen instantaneously, and the Most High might have it to where it happens even sooner than that. Okay, or they might want to take over a particular nation, and you use their foreign policies and so on and so forth, but it might not go down as they wanted to, like the thing in Syria, where you still got the Assad regime still in place, man. But the U.S. wanted to take them out for the longest, man. So let's read this article right here. It says economic collapse is erupting all over the planet. All right, as global leaders begin to panic. It says the first 24 hours of the dollar collapse. All right, it says mainstream outlets are already starting to use the phrase economic collapse to describe what is going on in some areas of the world right now. Okay, all right, and what's happening in some areas of the world right now? Well, let's read this article. These are the signs of an economic collapse. All right, so when you have a duck, you look for the signs, the identifiers. Okay, hence the term. If it walks like a duck, if it looks like a duck, and if it quacks like a duck, it probably is going to be a duck, right? So if it looks like an economic collapse, sounds like an economic collapse, probably going to be an economic collapse. All right, it says, what does the beginning of the economic collapse look like? It says, do you see grocery stores closing down? Oh yes, I do see grocery stores closing down. Okay, all right, and the chicken shop. All right, but that's a different story. It says, do you see other retailers are closing down. Yeah, you've seen all kind of retailers closing down. BHS is an example. I don't know too many American ones. Okay, it says, but I know of an assurity all the major stores are making cutbacks, man. Okay, they're making cutbacks. It says like closing stores and department stores going out of business. And we've seen a hell of a lot of that. It says they shuttered front stores along the main shopping districts, and you're seeing a hell of a lot of that. Okay, when you go out there into the Agora, man, and you pretty much look at all of them different things, right? Them different shops. Well, it's not a strange thing to go out there into the marketplaces these days, and you have a. I mean, you gotta really be in like a place like Oxford Street, to really find any major business not being closed down. But if you go out there into them, I wouldn't even say smaller ones, but you know, of less prominence than maybe Oxford Street and maybe New York. I've never been to America or anything, but really like the top shopping districts in the world. Anything other than that, you're bound to see them boarded shops, right? In prominent shopping neighborhoods, man. Okay, do you see homes in your neighborhood becoming run down? Yes, I see that, man. Okay, it says, did the same house where the Genesis Joneses rather more once lived, I think that's what it says, once lived, now become a rental property. Okay, so those are all supposed to be the indicator of what's coming up out here. But you got people that ain't really focusing towards that, because why? Because as just like how the scripture says, they got that gross darkness covering over them. Okay, so let's read a little bit of this. But pretty much the point I wanted to make has been made, man. Okay, in that, hey, these are the signs. The signs are before you. It's up to you to make your own judgment, man. Okay, the scripture talks about hastening the day. Okay, all right, and you got as much as you need to hasten in the day. All right, so back in this article, I'm gonna read a little bit of it. It says, but the truth is that the worldwide for many Americans, this might seem a bit strange, but the truth is that the worldwide economic slowdown that began during the second half of last year is starting to get a lot worse. Okay, in this article, we're going to examine the evidence of this form from South America, Europe, Asia, and North America. Okay, so let's start with Brazil. In the seventh largest economy of the entire planet, and it is already enduring its worst recession in 25 years. Okay, all right, but now the Brazil crisis has escalated significantly. It says, I want to share with you an excerpt rather more from a recent article entitled Brazil's Economic Collapse Worse Than Feared. Okay, and it says, amid a political chaos, Brazil's economic collapse is worse than its government once believed. It says, in the midst of the rising calls of to impeach that lady Dilma, okay, of which they've impeached her now. All right, it says for corruption. All right, it says Thursday that it was now expects rather more the country's economy to shrink 3.5% this year. Okay, it says that's the worst. That's worse than the central bank's previous estimate of 1.9 contraction. Okay, and, Brazil is a big place and a major tourist attraction. Okay, let's go to another example. You got Venezuela out there, and they're and people basically they don't even put it out there in your media so much because they want you in that cocoon, man. They want you to believe that everything's all right, especially in these major cities. Okay, you can find out some stunning videos on economic Armageddon that is taking place in Venezuela. You click right there, Prepper Fortress article entitled "Economic Collapse." Okay, scroll down to a third of the page down, and you got a link there. All right, let's check out some more examples before we call it a day. All right, what else have we got here? As Italy descends into financial chaos, right, the rest of the continent better be paying attention. All right, and that's Europe. Okay, so this is dealing with Europe. Let's read from here. It says, meanwhile, over in Europe, the collapse of the Italian bank system has entered a disturbing new chapter. It says Italy's finance minister has called a meeting in Rome for Monday. All right, this article was written 7th. Okay, so that's 7th there So the Monday there. Okay, let's go back to the rest of this article. It says, meanwhile, in Europe, the collapse of Italian banking system has entered a disturbing new chapter. Italy's finance minister has called a meeting in Rome for Monday. All right, that will be focusing on a last resort bailout plan for the troubled banks, man. Okay, so like I said, you can check out the rest for for yourself, man. Okay, but you better know that like it's saying, hey, economic collapse is erupting all over the planet. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna say, oh praise unto Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. Double honesty, apostles of GMS, honesty brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.